Hi, Tom here. In this week's Circle Line Art School drawing, I'll show you one way to draw famous buildings around the world in 5-point perspective. Start by drawing a circle and then draw a vertical line through the centre. And now draw a diagonal line through the centre as well, so that you have a cross in a circle. Next, draw a series of curved lines from the far left to the far right. The lines need to get more curvy as they get nearer the top edge of the circle. Now repeat this series of curved lines to the bottom edge of the circle. Next, draw the same series of curved lines, this time using the vertical line as the starting point. Again, the curved lines bend more as they get nearer the edge, the circumference of the circle. Once you have this curved grid in place, we have mapped out the 5 vanishing points: top, bottom, left, right, and centre. The 5 vanishing points are where parallel lines will look like they meet. Now, from the centre vanishing point, draw a line at the corner of one of the squares of the sphere. Using the right and left corners of the square, draw 2 new curved lines that meet at the central straight line. And now we have the start of the Eiffel Tower. Draw a base curve on the left and right, and then the basic shape of the tower, which is sort of a thin, tall triangles above the semicircles at the base. And then a few platforms and a series of crosses on the edges, one on top of another. Once you have the basic Eiffel Tower, we can draw the next building. Start again with a straight line from the centre of the circle. This time we can draw an easier building, the Berlin TV Tower. A tall, tapering spike with a small spherical shape towards the top. The next drawing starts with an oval on one of the squares. Draw 2 parallel lines at an angle, then draw a top and a series of curves like the front of an oval and some straight lines in between each layer. On the left of our globe, we don't need a straight line from the centre as we're drawing the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Next, in the centre, we can draw a bigger building. Work out which 5-point square you are going to use at the top of the globe, and then draw a series of domes of different heights and sizes. The centre of each of the domes, the centre line as it were of each of the domes, should be in the direction of the centre of our middle of the globe, as we're drawing St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow. St. Basil's Cathedral also has a prominent spire shape within the cluster of domes. Now on the right, use a 5-point square as a base for a square-based pyramid. You could draw 2 more pyramids behind the first one. Then we have drawn 3 Egyptian pyramids. Next, draw a line from the centre of our globe to the right for our next building. It goes to a point and has a curved shape like a boat's sail, or perhaps a slice of an apple. Divide this shape into a series of parallel lines. Now we have drawn the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai. Next, we can start to draw a building at an angle, using our centre point to find the vertical lines. Draw a full dome at the top that goes to a short point, and then below the dome, draw a wide archway that also goes to a small point. Next, extend the building on its left and right to add some small arches, and then draw 2 minarets either side of the mausoleum. Now we have a simple sketch of the Taj Mahal in Agra. Next, use the centre point and draw a very long line to the right, going out of the globe. From this, draw a series of thin cylinders. Add more bigger cylinders as it reaches the ground. And then we have a quick sketch of the incredibly tall Burj Khalifa. Next, draw a series of sail-like shapes, sort of nestled together. The baseline needs to curve with the globe. And this is the Sydney Opera House. Next, use the centre line and extend a long line. Draw a simple head and then 2 outstretched arms. A long gown with folds in it, and then we have a sketch of the statue of Christ in Rio. Next, draw another long line and then draw a head with spikes and a hand reaching up, away from the centre of the globe. Draw another fabric gown and a solid looking plinth. Now we have a sketch of the Statue of Liberty. Next, on the left, we can draw the base of a tall building, using the centre of the globe for the vertical lines. At the top of this building, draw a series of curves on each of the two sides of the building that we can see. Now we have a sketch of the Chrysler Building in New York. We could add a deck of floors too. Next, in this gap, we could draw another pyramid, this time a stepped pyramid with a series of narrow steps leading to the top, one of the Mesoamerican pyramids. Now, between the Chrysler Building and the Leaning Tower of Pisa, we could also draw a thin, elegant building with a slight curve on one of the vertical lines and a rectangular hole towards the top. This is a sketch of the Shanghai World Financial Center. Now over here, we have some space to draw another Chinese building, a cone shape with a series of ovals underneath getting slightly bigger as they reach the ground. A quick sketch of the Temple of Heaven in Beijing. I think I'll change the size of this Egyptian pyramid, it looks a little bit too small. Next we can go over the pencil sketch with a thin black pen. It is an opportunity to add more detail and definition to the buildings that we have already drawn. Next, behind the Eiffel Tower, we could draw the two towers of Notre Dame Cathedral with a large circular window in between. I will also draw a sketch of the Colosseum in Rome, the Petronas Towers of Kuala Lumpur, and the Wisma 46 Tower in Indonesia. Once you have all the buildings that you want in place, you could draw some shadows just with a pencil. Now, this drawing that I'm doing is on grey paper, so I'll use a soft white pastel to add some highlights to some of the buildings and part of the globe. I'll put a highlight on the dome of the Taj Mahal, the sails of the Sydney Opera House, and the edge of the Berlin TV Tower. I'll add some smaller highlights. The top left part of the globe, I'll also add some highlights. We can also darken the bottom right area of the globe so it looks more solid and three-dimensional. This drawing took about 2 hours to draw, but I thought about it a bit before I did it. Hope you have a go, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.